Welcome to another episode of Making It Keto. And today, we're going to be making some hamburger buns. Listen, y'all, you will not be able to tell the difference between the regular hamburger buns and these hamburger buns. I promise you, y'all going to love it. So without further ado, y'all know the deal by now. Let's get into it. Alright guys, let's get started. So we're going to start by measuring everything out, and I'll have all the amounts, exact measurements in the description box link below. And guys, I urge you to follow it to the T, because with keto, any kind of keto bread, having the measurements off can really play a part in how the bread's going to come out. So for this hamburger bun, just follow it to the T. Everything that I have linked in the description, just weigh it out, or however you decide to do it, just make sure it's to the T. As close as possible, I may say. Alright guys, let's start it off by adding in our yeast and our honey. Don't freak out guys, the yeast will eat the sugar in this honey, and I'll show you here in the next clip. As we move forward, we're going to add in our water, and this is what I was talking about with the yeast. Give it time, and if you look at pretty closely, you can see the reaction taking place. That's the yeast eating the sugar, guys. So that means your yeast is working. All right, guys, go ahead and add in your eggs right here. And we're going to also add in half of the dry ingredients. So what we're going to do is all the dry ingredients that we mixed, that we weighed out in the beginning, we're going to put it all into one bowl, mix it together, and that's going to be our flour mixture for this. So go ahead, if you're not already done that, just go ahead and put all your dry ingredients in one bowl. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and put the dough hook on. And we already got the first half of the dry ingredients in. Let's go ahead and mix it, and then we'll add in the second half. All right, here's the second half of the dry mixture. We're gonna add this in, and then we're gonna mix it up a little bit more. Once we get it into its dough form, we're going to go ahead and add in the butter. And when we're done mixing, guys, this is kind of the texture you should be looking at. Your dough should look something similar to this if you've done everything correctly up to this point. Now we want to go ahead and wrap it and let it rest for about 30 minutes before we actually start cutting it into hamburger buns. All right, after the 30-minute rest, we're gonna go ahead and weigh it. We're gonna weigh the whole dough. And once we get the weight of the dough, what we're going to do is take whatever number you got and divide it by 8. You do this so you can cut each dough into enough to make 8 buns. Because if you try to freehand it, guys, you're going to be left with a little bit too much or not enough. So I highly recommend that you weigh it before you actually start cutting it into forming it into dough, into hamburger buns. All right. Once we have them all weighed out in individual pieces, we're going to go ahead and form the actual hamburger buns. So this method, I kind of found just searching the web, and this kind of like consistent method that everyone uses to make hamburger buns. So I highly recommend it. If you guys have another method, you can try it. But I may say results may vary. I have only tried it this way. I've made these buns like 3 or 4 times, and I've used this method, and they've come out perfect every single time. So just kind of follow along what I'm doing in the video, and you should be fine. Also, you want to make sure you close the bottom. I'm closing it right there because you don't want it to pop open while it's baking. So make sure the bottom part's closed. Alright guys, moving on. We're going to start proofing the dough. We're going to cover it loosely with a cloth and let it sit out on the counter for maybe an hour to an hour and a half until the dough doubles in size. Alright guys, once your dough is finished proofing, we're going to hit it with an egg wash. And we're also going to hit it with the everything but the bagel seasoning. You could use regular sesame seeds. It's totally up to you. Alright, we'll be baking these at 375 for about 25 minutes. You want to start watching it around the 18-minute mark. And here we go. Check it out, guys. Tell me that don't look good. The possibilities are endless what you can do with this recipe, guys. I highly recommend not cutting them until you actually ready to use it. That way they can stay fresh. Here's what I did with it, guys. I'm currently following the OMAD diet, so I only had one meal a day. So I made 2 burgers with it, and I also had some Quest chips on the side. Simple, guys. Alright, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like and subscribe so you can get the notifications because I upload every week. Thanks for watching.